Hi guys, how you doing? Senior Gaming here, and in today's episode I'm bringing you Vampire Idol and we're gonna discuss how to progress further with your boss challenge. So what we want to do today is we want to make sure we maximize this damage output for a singular unit, progress as far as we can with the boss, and therefore increase our overall rank on the server. So if you're a Vampire Idol player or Idol player in the first place, then consider subscribing to this channel, as I'm trying to bring as much value and entertainment and post as often as possible as well. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. Okay, so the tip number one I want to discuss today is gonna be reviewing our growth. So from a first up body, we're gonna head into a growth. Before I get there, just very quickly, obviously upgrade itself is where you're gonna spend your gold, but consider very quickly once you start landing some more finance in your wallet, that Blood Strike, attack and raid gonna be the most important stats you can ever get. And this is basically a super crit. So you might hit your normal attack, your critical attack, but Blood Strike is that super crit. You know, when we check it now, it's gonna be all these red numbers which are completely outperforming any other damage considered. So obviously Blood Strike is something we're gonna have on the back of our mind once we're gonna progress with this video. Right, so when it comes to growth itself, you obviously got 3 different presets, and as we're gonna discuss a lot of different methods in this video, you will see there is a lot of different presets to choose from. Which preset you use is entirely up to you. This is pretty much what game offers to you, that if you focus on a boss, if you focus on other aspects of the game, you can literally just switch in between and have these stats distributed in a different ways depending on what you currently do in a game. So if, for example, you want to copy what I've done here, or you're unsure, you're still experimenting, that by all means just hit that reset button and start distributing your stats again, as this only costs 2000 gems. Obviously, a growth itself are level points, so every single time you level up, you're gonna have 5 points to distribute. And as you see, currently being close of level 900, I've got a nearly 4500 points. Okay, so now when it comes to distribution of stats itself, obviously what I have completely excluded would be experience and gold. When it comes to all 3 skills of mana, I have gone either halfway through the max point or just over half through, so I can make sure my skills got always enough mana to be casted one after another. But when it comes to skills, we're gonna discuss that in just a second. And then when it comes to top 3, I have completely excluded HP. Don't worry about it, we go in full glass cannon here, we want to deal as much damage as possible. And again, I have put handful of the points into attack and try to maximize this critical attack. I want to land these crits as heavy as possible, and this is where the essence of actual damage itself gonna come from. Obviously, attack will boost your overall damage in the first place, but I have sort of went with a lot more crit. Alright, so that's tip number 1 done and dusted. Let's progress to tip number 2, which is rune. So from the same category in body, we're gonna go to rune. And then again, if we tap on rune, we've got 3 different runes to choose from. My recommendation currently, you go with a rune of Carnage. And again, as you've seen, I have gone heavily with a critical attack when it comes to growth, and I boost that even further with the rune. If you got a rune on level 225, obviously you're gonna unlock all the additional perks and bonuses, which will further increase your damage, and I highly recommend you do so. And as you see, you can actually keep progressing further past this level, so you just literally increase that main stat. And then you also will be having an option of choosing 2 runes, and I have tested quite a lot of them just to see a best output. And currently what I believe is most efficient is gonna be a rune of Zandal, which again we discussed Blood Strike rate before, and this is now where we're gonna increase it by further 14%. Landing this super crit as often as possible is what we want. And then the second rune we're gonna use is we're gonna increase our attack of 120% if Rampage is in effect. And what effectively is Rampage? So we can literally close that up. So above 4 buffs you've got on your main screen, this is one of the additional skills you're able to use. But don't worry about it, you can actually have it on auto. So that leads us into tip number 3, which is magic, aka skills. And if we go into window of magic and skills, This is where we obviously again got 3 different presets to choose from. We again, as you seen earlier, preset 2, it's what I use for bosses. And here we've got Blood Rampage Auto. So what it means, we can have this additional 1 skill which increase our damage on auto. And if you click on info, you can see how much damage it actually boosted. So in case of Rampage, as you see, we increase attack by 3, 4, 5%. We increase our attack speed and movement speed. Obviously these two gonna be crucial when it comes to boss fight. And also make sure you've got auto here on the right hand side, which means we're gonna efficiently use our skills. And as you see, the mana bar is progressing sort of up and down, but we've got just enough mana to keep us going. So now when it comes to selection of the skills, obviously I want to show you what I have currently selected, but it's a mixture between passive and buff skills and a singular target skills. So this is a selection as I record this video. Obviously I'll be able to unlock more new skills, etc. I'll upgrade others, so these might change. But currently where I am, you just need to have a general idea of where you want to take this. So let's just discuss what actually skills I have selected. So I have gone obviously with a Raging Storm, which is a passive and buff skill, increase attack by 250%. I have gone with further passive and buff skill Adrenaline, boosting my attack speed by 80%. And then we're going into some of the skills. So we've got a sword skill, Pulverize, again attack 1 enemy. We've got another passive and buff skill with a Weapon Mastery. Then we're talking about magic skill, which is a Blood Orb, again is able to attack 1 enemy. Then we've got a Sniper Shot, which is a gun skill, again attack 1 enemy only. And then we move into a Blood Dagger, again 1 enemy skill. And finally we're talking here about Berserker, which is further passive and buff skill, increasing our attack speed. What also is worth noting, I've got 1 additional skill which I do not require to actually be slotted anymore, and this is gonna be a Blood Warrior. So I increase further attack by 45%, but having it on maximum level of awakening, I don't need to have it slotted anymore. So that would be a tip number 3, which is obviously your skills. Okay, and now we're gonna progress to tip number 4, and that's gonna be part of our equipment. And from equipment, obviously when it comes to sword or gun, you want to go as far as possible. You can wear the grade. Obviously the further up you go, the higher damage output you'll have. Same when it comes to costume and wings. But the two elements I want to discuss in a tip number 4 is going to be your ring necklace. So when it comes to ring, again, you'll have 3 different presets to choose from. Preset number 2 on a ring. And then you've got different options to obviously select from. So again, different presets, you will use it for different aspects of the game. What I have gone with, I have maximized my attack. And actually from a 2 offensive skills, I would say we only got attack and crit rate. And as mentioned earlier, we're not really interested in a normal crit rate, as we're interested in that Blood Strike, which is a super crit. Therefore, I want you to maximize on one of your presets just purely attack. And this is where you're gonna have overall increase when it comes to damage. And obviously this is where we're aiming with hitting that boss. So it's same principle when it comes to necklace. As you see, exactly same statistics. It's just I've got it on a preset 1. I might be sort of changing it later. I have temporarily run out of the orbs at the time when I was setting this up, but it's the same element. Obviously it doesn't matter which preset as mentioned. Make sure you land this attack everywhere. Okay, so that's tip number 4, and finally we're landing into tip number 5, which is Bloodline. And obviously you're gonna go and upgrade your Bloodline all the times. But what we need to what is worth noting, that every single one of them got a certain stats which will boost once they are connected. And as you see currently, the spider is being connected, and therefore the red highlight. So when it comes to Squall, if we actually go and have a look, we can increase our HP, decrease our damage, and increase boss damage. So ideally I would say we would increase boss damage from this particular skill, or we have gone with a dragon and then go with everything around mana and mana absorption. So therefore I have gone with a spider, which increase my attack. Not really interested in a critical rate, but also increase my attack speed. And therefore, this is where you want to be connected with a spider to further increase your damage output. Okay then guys, I'm running out of breath here. It was pretty intense, but that's a 5 crucial tips that will definitely help you boost that boss challenge. And therefore, try to compete as high as you can with your rank, obviously. So I hope you found this useful, guys. If you did, then make sure you subscribe to the channel, as more videos will come shortly. And have a great day, and I'll see you next time.